Rundown. Of course, today we're going to be talking about Implosion and what would go on. Kicking us off would be Blackheart defending his hardcore championship against Brandon Hobbs. These two men went back and forth, a couple of brutal blows to the head of Brandon Hobbs, which would result in Blackheart picking up the victory. However, Hobbs took offense to this, attacking Blackheart after the bell, slamming him into the mat with that hardcore drive. That wouldn't be the end, though. Hobbs would demand Blackheart look at him in the eyes and shot a fireball directly into the face of Blackheart, showing everyone that he will go to the limits to get that hardcore championship back around his waist. But we're going to continue where law enforcement would take on the headliners, Patrick O'Reilly and Miano Diaz versus Jackson Law and Jaden Tucker, where the winner would get a shot at the tag team championships. This match was a mix of styles, as Miano Diaz kind of brought the speed side of things, Jackson and Jaden showing the submission game, the power, whereas Patrick O'Reilly has learned a lot over the last year in the technical side of things. But power would beat speed, as Jackson Law and Jaden Tucker would beat Miano Diaz and Patrick O'Reilly to set up a XCW Tag Team Championship match at a future date against, of course, myself and my partner SAT. Now, though, we're going to get on to a fatal four-way that saw Jesse Justice, JJ Keilty, Evan Phoenix, and Brady Branson face off, where the winner would get a shot at Jay Ellis in the International Championship later on in the show. Of course, Phoenix and Branson, being former partners, showed some signs of communication, teaming up to take out Keilty and Justice early, but Phoenix always remembers. He hates Brady Branson. And it would be Evan Phoenix picking up the victory to set up an International Championship opportunity against Jay Ellis. On the topic of Jay Ellis, he will actually be joining us for today's phone interview after we cut to this quick commercial break.
Coming soon to XC Wrestling 1.
Do it now.
They tell me that I would never make it. But look at me now. I finally made it.
Do it now.
And this is mine, sometime later.
Do it now.
Back from our first commercial break, like I said, we would have XCW International Champion Jay Ellis joining us on today's show. Jay, you won your first singles title here in XCW when you defeated Deacon Storm for that International Champion, and you were very emotional after capturing it. Explain the emotions to not only me, but also the listeners, just what it meant to finally capture your first singles championship here.
Man, to be honest with you, I really kind of can't even explain the emotion that I had winning the title that I already wanted to win when I first started, even coming to XCW, period. Like, even before we got signed, I got signed with JJ, and we were just doing the co-shows. For some reason, that's just one belt that I wanted to win fully. And now that I did, like, I guess I kind of poured my heart out. I did cry. I will not lie about that. I did cry, but I can't say that I am super grateful for winning that title.
All right, and you mentioned it being the championship you've always wanted since you started doing, the co-shows. A lot of people, when they come in, they want the big one. They want that world title, but for you, it's different. So of all titles, why the international?
I wanted to win the international first, just to prove to everybody, and anybody back there that's watching, like Chris Jones, even Fletch and Royalty, and anybody that when it comes down to it, that I am championship material, and then when it's my time to win the big championship, I'm gonna win it, and ain't nobody gonna stop me from winning it, as you see with the international title.
All right, and before the season, as me and you have talked about before, I predicted that you would split from JJ Keilty as well as win a singles championship. I'm 2 for 2 on those predictions. So, JLs, what are 2 predictions you have for the rest of the season? It can either be for you, it could be for another superstar on the roster, or it could just be for XCW in general.
Alright, I hate to put a lot of pressure on my shoulders and sound cocky, but before the year is over, I can guarantee you I'll at least be in a world title shot. I might not win it, but I'll at least be in a world title shot, and Milano Diaz gonna win the international title before the end of the year.
All right, well, we'll see if you have as good as luck as I did. And now that you're a champion, of course not in the tag division, on your own, the target on your back becomes larger with potential threats from all over the roster. What do you have to say to anyone who would want a shot at you and that international championship?
Anybody can get the shot, but you ain't gonna beat me. It's gonna be a while. You ain't gonna beat me. Like I said, I give Milano that prediction, but if I'm still holding it, I'm probably predicting back on my word, but if I'm still holding the belt, they're not gonna beat me. Like I said, even these new people that's coming in, I hope they don't have big dreams of trying to take the belt off my waist. You're gonna have a hard time doing that.
All right, well, very confident, and good luck to you on your international championship reign. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see if those lofty predictions you made for not only yourself, but also Milano Diaz come true.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yep, and then we're going to cut to our final commercial break. When we come back, we got 3 more matches to talk about. Of course, talk about some upcoming things to look forward to, and today's XCW Xtra, where JJ Keilty will take on DTC. Back from our final commercial break. Of course, final thank you to Jay Ellis as well. But let's get into the New Age Championship, where DJ Wolbert would once again take on Anthony Steele. These two men went at it, delivering each other's finisher. But same match, same outcome. DJ would once again win by disqualification after Anthony Steele would hit the Taste of Steel. But a debuting Alex Riley would interfere, causing the DQ. And we do know at Brutality, we will see Anthony Steele go one-on-one with Alex Riot in Alex's XCW in-ring debut. Now, we're going to move on. Evan Phoenix, like I said, he won that Fatal 4-Way earlier to get an international championship opportunity against Jay Ellis. Luke Blaze wouldn't be out there with Evan Phoenix. Phoenix saying he was doing some business, maybe scouting some new talent for Blaze Entertainment. And unfortunately, Evan Phoenix could not make it 2 for 2 on the night, as Jay Ellis would successfully retain his international championship. And you heard it earlier, like he said, he will take on anybody. No matter who you are, you won't be the one to take the title off of him at the moment. But we have to get into the main event. Royalty being represented by Fletch, Corey Lee, and Hayden Vex, taking on a kind of a little bit off Brogan O'Shea. We saw Fletch slip something into his drink. Hunter Halkin, who's been on an absolute tear since debuting, and a returning Tommy the Man Merriman, who made it known that he immediately wanted to get his hands on Hayden Vex. And that's what he did. But whenever Brogan O'Shea was in the ring, Royalty would just toy with him until finally O'Shea would break out of it. And this is where Fletch knew he was in big trouble. O'Shea delivering the last call. Fletch knew he had to get out of Dodge, and these two men would brawl to the back, leaving it a 2-on-2 situation. And it would be Tommy the Man Merriman pinning Hayden Vex to get some revenge and maybe knock Royalty off their high horse a little bit. We do know that Fletch and Brogan O'Shea will have a contract signing for their match at Xtreme King, as well as Corey Lee and Hunter Halkin going one-on-one. And of course, like I mentioned, Anthony Steele taking on Alex Riot in his in-ring debut here for XCW. But you'll want to stay tuned for today's XCW Extra. JJ Keilty taking on DTC.
This match is scheduled for one fall. And now, let's look at me for a second, man. Making his way to the ring. Weak and pathetic. I thought I needed that lesson, but he's an impressive. I feel the infection, repeating the lessons. From Cameron, North Carolina, weighing in at 180 pounds, it's JJ Keilty.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, JJ Keilty. Welcome to XCW Extra here on the Rundown. JJ Keilty in the ring, ready for action, and he's going against a seasoned vet, someone that is interesting to watch. We're talking about none other than DTC.
Of course, DTC and JJ Keilty, they're both kind of known for their high-flying offense. Both want to get to the top rope, use their speed. So, same styles. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if Lee or JJ Keilty come out on top. You mentioned DTC being a seasoned vet. JJ Keilty may not be a vet in XCW, but he has been running FWO Sports Wrestling for multiple years.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these men have got quite the long resume, quite the history behind them. But this is their first one-on-one meeting between these two men. Both similar styles on completely different sides of the state. And now we get to see these guys face off one-on-one in the ring here on XCW Extra. DTC, JJ Keilty, and you talked about it, similarities. There's definitely some high-flying similarities between these two, and this should be a very athletic match. And look at that, DTC immediately getting under the skin of JJ Keilty, but Doesn't look like it's phasing either man much here in the early goings of this match.
Not at all, as both men kind of look lousy there, and the ref calling for the bell here as they kind of circle each other, get some scouting in, see what it's going to take for them to get the victory.
Yeah, a little bit of a feeling out process right now between DTC and JJ Keilty, as it looks like we're going for a test of strength early, but JJ Keilty, what it looked like maybe an uppercut to the side of the face in the early goings of this match, but DTC back to his feet now.
Lock up here. JJ Keilty usually doesn't have a strength advantage, but this contest he might, but here we see early on that quickness of both men.
Yeah, an arm wrench into an arm bar by DTC. JJ Keilty quickly getting out of that and doing a leg sweep to DTC, knocking him off his feet. Both men back to their feet, another lockup, and now it looks like DTC's in control of this and kind of taking over JJ Keilty, kind of faking him out a little bit, trying to keep him on his toes.
Just kind of targeting that arm of JJ Keilty, looking to keep him off his feet.
And he just continues to work on the arm and the shoulder of JJ Keilty, and as you guys know, JJ Keilty missed a lot of the 2020 season for a bad shoulder, so it's pretty smart of DTC to target that body part of JJ Keilty.
Definitely is, but JJ Keilty just pulled DTC into a huge forearm that took him off of his feet, and now looks like it might be JJ Keilty's turn as he just slings DTC into the mat, toying with him.
DTC smartly rolls underneath the bottom rope to try to leave a gap between himself and JJ Keilty. And then here we go, back once again. Another calculated move there from DTC, and he hits a big DDT and a rollover pin, and JJ quickly gets a shoulder up after one.
Definitely does. DTC, he has to stay on JJ Keilty. We've seen both men going back and forth in control. Right now, though, DTC in full control.
Once again, going for that arm, that shoulder, DTC. And drop toe hold to JJ Keilty. What's he got in mind here? And it's he almost had the 317. He slipped and guillotined him over the middle rope. He did everything he could to save that one.
DTC using his veteran awareness to make sure that even if he wasn't able to hit the 317, he was able to turn it into something. Looks like he could be going for it again.
He goes for it again, and he does. The 317 to JJ Keilty. Could that be enough for DTC to get the 5-star frog splash and put JJ Keilty away? DTC up top, what's he going to do? And there it is, the 5-star frog splash! Can DTC capitalize and put away JJ Keilty?
Looks like DTC might have hurt himself a little bit there. Might have got the wind knocked out of him. He's given JJ Keilty some breathing room. That could have been the end if he was able to crawl through that cover quickly. Finally, though, DTC into the cover.
And he got him. The 317 and the 5-star frog splash combination does it once again, ladies and gentlemen. DTC knocking off JJ Keilty in a highly competitive, high-octane match here on XCW Xtra from the Rundown. We thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time here on XCW Xtra on the Rundown.